Hello everybody, welcome back to my channel. We have a change of pace today, and today I had a thought. Well, actually, this thought came about probably a couple weeks ago, but I just didn't really know how to proceed. And summer, this was the first summer. Actually, that's not true. Because I only had one summer where I was doing classes. And this summer we're not doing classes, so it's a little bit different. But I'm still going to school this fall, so no worries about that. We can talk about that in a bit. But I wanted to talk about initially my idea for some. Whoa. Okay, guys, I'm ADHD, so I see things in the corner of my eye, and I'm like, what is that? And I also have a window here, so if stuff's moving, I always look out. But anyways, back on track. First of all, I do want to get back in doing what I was originally doing on the channel. Not that I don't want to do everything else, because all of those things, we'll get there. All of those things still will exist on this channel, but I just wanted to clean it up and sort it out a little bit, because I do kind of feel like everything is a little all over the place, which honestly kind of emulates how my brain works. But it was something that I was thinking about a week or so ago, or just more recently, about how I function and how my channel just kind of emulates also how I function. And it's just kind of funny to see. I've also learned a little bit more about my astrology, which is scarily accurate. I don't know. I'm always in between of things, and sometimes I'm it's just astrology, and sometimes I'm whoa, that is kind of crazy to be a little bit of a coincidence. But anyways, I kind of want to do these sit-down videos again, because I did really enjoy them, and I want them to be a little more casual, to be honest. And when it is a little more casual, I feel like I am able to be a little more authentically myself than shoving a camera into my face, because I usually always do this with my computer anyways. So that switch from going from my photo booth to a camera was a little jarring for me. Not that I didn't enjoy it, but it was a little jarring because, I had to get used to looking at a camera and seeing a small window. And then now I'm when I previously was going from looking at myself on a big window on this computer, So it felt like I had to kind of shift the way I approached videos. Not that I didn't have fun, not that it wasn't fun. It is. But I kind of was thinking that I want to, because the past couple of months since I've started being on YouTube, there was a lot of things I want to do with my content, and I just kind of wanted to start. So I started, and I was dipping my toe in everything that interested me, and I'm kind of glad I did it, because now I've come to the conclusion that, okay, I like this, I don't like this. I like this and I don't like this, which, goes back all the way to my first video of just do the thing. Stop overthinking it and just do the thing. Because, yeah, if I hadn't just uploaded that one video that actually got a lot of traction, which is kind of crazy, which I think was for a reason. I think everything's for a reason. But it kind of gave me this little boost to be oh my god, that's a lot of people who saw my video and were resonated with it. And in my brain I was okay, if this many people resonated with it, maybe the idea of making content to resonate with people and find those people who enjoy my content for the way it is. Where did I totally just, I'm gonna be honest with you, I totally lost what I was saying. I just I had another thought pop in. This is so bad. I have such a problem with that. The video that I had made initially, it wasn't my first video, it was actually my third video, but my first actual video I won't doubt myself like that, because the first video I had was me, which is so funny, which was me and my friend Hunter. Yeah, so the first initial actual video I had. Anyways, I think I'm getting off topic. The first initial video I had on this channel actually was a adventure with me. And it was me and Hunter going thrifting. And then the second video was me doing, or the next two videos after that was me doing like fashion videos, because I was really interested in fashion. And for a while I just wanted to design clothes, but I came to the conclusion that it was like, do I actually want to design the clothes, or do I want to like style the clothes? And I just like, just because I'm interested in something doesn't mean I have to make a avenue for it and make it a thing where I need it to make money, which is something I've realized the older I've grown, is that not every hobby needs to be monetized. And I've been hearing this in the realm of the internet, but we'll get back to that. I'm actually going to write that down because I'm going to forget, and I know I'm going to forget, so I'm going to write it down. I've actually written down multiple things that I've wanted to talk about that have just been compiling in my notes. But let me write this down first. Oh my god, I just totally lost it. Oh, this is like, I love my brain for how fast it works, but I also get frustrated because it almost moves a little too fast and has already gone to the next thought. God. This is my, like, downfall, low-key, is not remembering stuff. It's so bad. What was I saying? Oh, not monetizing everything. Okay. And this is so funny because, okay, this goes on to another thing, but I'm just gonna like continue with what I was saying. So the video that blew up on my channel, which was like 75K, maybe even more now, views, initially in the beginning of this year, I just randomly posted a video because I was kind of like I was a little fed up with the way that I was too scared to post anything online because of my fear of being perceived a certain way that I didn't want to be perceived. And, you know, I just had to like combat that, and kind of just heal that part of myself where I could see it holding me back in a way where I didn't want to post anything on my TikTok, or I don't want to post anything on my Instagram, which actually doesn't really have that many. I think it's like 380 followers or something on there, so it's not that many people, and it's mostly people that are in my life, because I don't really like shell out my Instagram to many people. Like, the people who usually follow my Instagram are actually like very close to me, or were very close to me at some point. And yeah, I've been hacked a couple times, so like I don't have very many followers on there. Anyways, not the point. Get on it, girl. Get on it. Stay on track. Yeah, I saw it bleeding into like my social media, where I actually used to find it very easy to express myself on. And I slowly just started realizing that I was kind of holding myself back and holding back my own potential because I was so fearful of being perceived. And it wasn't like being perceived, it was just like this real weird control aspect, and I had to like unpack all of this shit. And like, obviously I'm not perfect, and everyone's not perfect, so everyone has those days where you're like, holy shit, I really don't want to be looked at today, or like seen, or go outside, you know what I mean? But yeah, my fear of perception in real life kind of just started spilling over into my online life, where I didn't feel like I could actually be the creative person I was because of the fear of people watching me and having their own opinions, you know? Not everyone's going to like you. Not everyone's going to love you. Some people are going to feel neutral. Some people are just really not going to care. And that's just like the world we live in. And I think in the day and age of living in social media, everyone wants to be seen a certain way. And I don't think, at least I can speak about Gen Z because I am, I think, an older Gen Z, because I was born in 1999, so I'm 26. I just turned 26 in June. And that almost feels really weird rolling off my tongue because I still feel like 19 in my head. We all get stuck at a certain age, I feel like, and maybe I feel like that slowly progresses, but I don't know if that ever changes. Because a lot of adults I've talked to, I feel like they've told me that they still feel like a teenager in their head, which is another scary thought and a little morbid, but yeah, it was just spilling over into my life, and I was just like fed up with it because like I could weirdly enough see my own potential, like, and I don't know if I only feel like some people are gonna resonate with this, but like ever since I was young, okay, I'm open up here, ever since I was really young, I just felt like I wasn't meant to do a normal thing. And since I was a kid, I was always infatuated with the internet, okay? I would follow people who would make these YouTube videos that I've talked about this briefly in previous videos, but would make like fake music videos to like very popular songs at the time. A lot of it was like Kesha and Lady Gaga and Maroon 5. But it was when I was really young. And I would watch that, and I would watch like Michelle Phan and just old YouTube. Man, it's so weird. I still remember when YouTube became a thing, and YouTube just looking so different than it was now, and watching like when everyday vlogging was a new thing. I used to watch a lot of BF vs GF and Prank vs Prank and a lot of daily vloggers, and it was just something that just like really caught my eye. And then I was just like on another side of the internet as well with Tumblr, which probably wasn't the best at that age. But I was on many facets of the internet. And not only that, I was in the alternative side of the internet as well, because my sister and the people she would hang out with, because I was around her a lot, and a lot of the time my mom was like, you can't go to parties if you don't take your sister. So she's 3 years older than me, so I would be like a middle schooler going to like high school parties, and it just felt really awkward. But like she hung out with some pretty cool people, and some of those people are still like in our lives. But yeah, she was like into the scene. She was a scene girl and scene emo, because it wasn't like we had bright colored hair. I think like we would be more considered emo, but we would have like fake piercing. It was so funny nowadays because it's more accepted, but back in the day, if you were scene or emo and you were caught with like fake piercings, like it would be immediate, like point the finger, you're a fucking poser, get out of here. But we would like literally take rings from like fake chains, or like literally would like Home Depot like chain O-rings, and you would like open them up with pliers and use them as like fake lip piercings. Dude, what an era. What an era. Oh my god, that's so nostalgic to think about. Oh my god. And we would wear them so much, like my sister obviously more than me, but we would wear them so much on her lip that it caused like this like abrasion scar, because it's like fucking metal. It's sharp metal that you're putting on your lip. It was like a fake, little ring. And you'd put your hair to the side and you take like your cool little pictures for like the internet. This was the time of like memes and everything. But I wasn't old enough to like really look that cool. Like my mom would not let me dye my hair, so I had like mousy brown hair. And my sister had like the full like sweep, but my mom would let me do it. And I remember one day my sister, like I had like crazy, I wish I could find a picture, like it's on my old Facebook, but I can't get in there because like I don't know the password. But like I had this like crazy like side part, which was also, it came down a little bit to the side, but it was more of like a side part. And I like pushed it down. Oh my god, I really need to find a picture. And it was the era of like, fake 3D glasses where you'd pop out the lenses and you'd wear them, and it was like cool, and you were doing one of these. Oh my god. And I really wanted that like little like connector fringe that you would get, like the little layers, but it would on the like when you sweep it to the side, you'd see those like little layers. So like I cut those into my hair. It didn't look as cool as I thought I did, and I lived in this Gurr hoodie that I got from Hot Topic, and I really wish we still had. We probably do. It's probably somewhere in my parents' house because I feel like they never give away our old clothes. Yeah, but I don't know where that went. I love that hoodie, and if I found it, that shit's like borderline vintage now. Almost like 5 more years. But that hoodie was like, I lived in that hoodie, and I lived in Gurr shirts. And a lot of like 303 Killers, skinny jeans. Yeah. A lot of like candy. Damn, what an era. But anyways, I don't know where I was getting with that, but yeah, I grew up and that was like my influence. So I was like on the darker part of the internet, on Tumblr, which wasn't really good for my mental health, if I'm gonna be honest. And for whose mental health anyways. Like it was just, it wasn't like the healthiest internet place, but I mean, it was still like fun. I never like uploaded anything. I definitely commented on stuff, but like it was like on anonymous like Tumblrs, like commenting or like reposting notes and being like, my life is so drab, like just being like a depressed kid. If anyone can relate, let me know down below. But yeah, and I am kind of curious if you're willing to let me know like how old you guys are. I'm always curious to know like what my demographic is and if you guys actually like lived the era in like the era like early 2000s, because I was like 5 in 2004. So like in that early like before 2010s era of the internet. Like I don't know if anyone else has experienced that's watching. Obviously other people don't crucify me. Obviously other people have, but like I'm just curious if my audience or the people, you guys, my viewers, my besties, watching me remember that era, or if you were like conscious during that era. But let me know down below if you're interested. If you don't feel comfortable doing that, then don't do that. I don't want people coming from me to be like, oh, she forced me to put my age in the comments. I did not. I said if you're comfortable and it's consensual, okay? That doesn't sound right, but you're understanding what I mean. But anyways, yeah. I grew up wanting to do something unconventional. Always wanted to do something unconventional. And making videos was something that I just really enjoyed doing. I spent hours editing my own fake music videos, never uploading them. They were literally only just for me, which is so upsetting because they're gone. I don't have them anymore, and I spent hours, like my summers were me setting up those like handheld long camcorders in my backyard, like making a storyline music video just so I can edit it and look at it and be like, damn, one day I'll upload these. And it never happened. But yeah, and I would watch like Michelle Phan and everything, and back then like MAC products were really crazy. So I really wanted like a MAC eyeshadow. And I remember going to the MAC store for the first time and buying this horrendous blue aquamarine looking eyeshadow. And I literally didn't know anything about foundation or anything else. Like I would watch people do it, obviously, but like I wasn't old enough to wear foundation and stuff. And like it was like I got my hands on this MAC blue eyeshadow. And I think about that all the time because I took it home and I was like, what look can I do with this blue eyeshadow? And I ended up doing like a frost princess, and I think that was like the first YouTube video I like uploaded on like a really old YouTube that I can't even remember the name of. So if anyone comes across that, please let me know. But I don't even remember the name. And I've like tried getting on there because I was just curious if I had uploaded anything else. But for a moment when I was younger, my friends around me also had YouTube channels where they were uploading like just ridiculous Mac videos, like photo booth videos, just like fucking around on the internet. But anyways, yeah, I always wanted to do something unconventional. Going back to what I was saying, when I was younger, I always felt like I had the idea that I didn't really want to do what everyone else was doing. And I felt weirdly wrong for it, although I had a rough relationship with my parents. It wasn't like they ever told me that I couldn't do what I wanted to do, which is kind of funny and unconventional for Persian parents. Persian parents tend to be like, you need to be a doctor, a lawyer, something very high, like a tech, doctor, lawyer, something like that, very, very top. And that's what they usually expect from their kids. And growing up, which is so funny because my brother, my sister, and me all were like, we're going to medical school. We're going to medical school. We did in fact not go to medical school. I really, really wanted to go to medical school because I actually had a really big interest in surgery, which is kind of macabre, but like, I just love, it sounds so wrong, I just love the human body, its functions, and how it's built. It's crazy what the human body can do, okay? It is crazy how a human body can heal itself. It's just, it's crazy. And how you can rewire your brain. It's crazy. And this is why it also like kind of pertains to why I love psychology, because the brain is crazy. The brain can make you, if it's a little off kilter, can give you like hallucinations. You know what I mean? Like, psychology is just awesome to me and I love it. And I've always wanted to go into psychology. But if I were to be a psychologist, I would be like a experimental psychologist. Like, I would not be like therapizing. I would not be a therapist, because I have my own problems. And I have heard too many of stories of therapists who obviously, people are therapists because they want to help people because they've been through things. Not all therapists. I'm not going to say every one of them, but most therapists, I mean, I thought about it for a brief moment, but I was like, you know what? Like, I don't feel like that's my job here on this earth. It's so weird because I had such a weird way of thinking about life when I was younger, and I was so scared of death. This is getting really like dark, but I was so scared of death, and I just had like this weird view on life when I was a kid, because I was just like, I knew that I only had this one life, but I suffered from so many like inhibitions in my own self that like I knew that like I had to like, I'm gonna have to go through some obstacles, girl. Some real big obstacles. And I did, and I have, and I will continue to go through, because, that's life. You can't appreciate the highs if you don't have the lows, and the other way around, But, yeah, so growing up that way just, like, shaped my brain in this way where I was like, okay, like, what do I want to do? I thought surgery was it for a really long time because I was, like, locked in, okay? But I was locked in after high school. And then shortly after, I realized this is not what I want to do. Although I'm very interested, this is where I was getting to, like, you don't have to monetize everything. Although I found this such great interest in the way the body works, and the body and surgery and just the medical field in general, and this just like idea of like, oh my god, to be that smart, that would be amazing. Not saying that I'm not smart, but like those people are just like another level of smart. I also don't have the steadiest hands. I'm just like and I am an anxious person, so I don't know if that would work very well. Anyways, I realized that I really love anatomy and everything. I really loved psychology, but there were certain parts about it that I did not like. And I was like, it was really hard, but I came to like this weird conclusion that I was like, after going to school to get like my health science degree for like 2 years of doing school, probably 3 years, wasting my time and wasting my parents' time and money, which is fine now, but I realize that now, because back then I was like, whatever. I was like a little shit. I was like, you know what? It doesn't matter. I don't even want to be here. I didn't even want to be in high school. I hated school too, which is so funny that I was like, you know, I'm gonna go to medical school. I hate school, but I'm gonna go to medical school. Which is so funny, full circle, because I'm going in for radiology. It's totally different, which focuses more on anatomy and everything, but I digress. And Sophie's meowing. I don't know if you can hear her. I wish I could like take this over, but as soon as she sees me, she's gonna stop meowing. Here, let me go see. Are you eating cat grass? Back. I just wanted you to hear her little meow. She's eating the little cat grass because, girl, I can't have a plant on the counter without her freaking eating it. So I got her cat grass so she would eat the cat grass, and I'll know that she's eating something safe and not something freaking toxic. I also tried to just not buy toxic plants anymore, which kind of sucks because I love flowers. But there is this one flower that like I'm obsessed with, and I can never find cut flowers because I think they're a very short blooming season. And they're called scabiosas. And my favorite is like the dark purple red. They're so pretty. Scabiosas. That's the name if you're interested. But I'm out of breath. So, yeah, I realized that I like those things, but I don't necessarily want that to be my whole life. And I came to the conclusion that I think I am too, if I'm being real, I am way too uptight of a person to be dealing with, like, people's lives in my fucking hand. I feel like I would break so quick if many people died under my hands. Not that I would go in there and, like, actively, like, you know, like it, but you know what I mean? Like, it would just be, like, so traumatic for me, I feel like, because I am such an empathetic person that, like, I just literally, it would like stick, you know, like a freaking like tick in my head. Like it would stick in my brain and it would just like build up and then I would like explode. That's how I feel like. I like came to the conclusion that I was like, okay, if I wanted to go to medical school, I would have tried harder. I literally had to like look at myself and be like, bitch, you're not trying hard enough to go to medical school. Can you try that hard? Yeah. Do you want to? Is that what you really want to do? And I was like, no, that isn't. I had to have like a real honest conversation and it sucked because I was like, oh shit, now I have to sit my parents down and tell them I don't want to go to medical school and I don't want to do medicine. But before I did that, I needed to figure out what I wanted to do. And I thought, guys, I wanted to do a lot of things. Okay? I thought I wanted to be a tattoo artist. I still think that would be actually quite cool. But it was a cooler thought than actually doing it. I think I just like tattoos. You know, I mean, it's cool because, like, I'm an alternative person. I wanted to be in an alternative space. I want a lot of tattoos, although I don't have that many. I'm saving space, okay? We don't need to do it all at once. Slow it down, Carol. But yeah, that was like another thought. And then I was like, oh my God, fashion school. And I actually really locked in for a little bit for that and like learned sewing and learned like draping and stuff like that. I didn't go to school, but like I learned it on my own online as much as I could. And then I eventually, shortly after that, left my parents' house and kind of had to put everything on hold. Didn't go to school for like 2 years, 3 years, 4 years. Maybe 4 years. 5? I think it was 5. Because I don't think I was going to school anymore after I told my parents I don't want to go to school for medicine because, you know, you can't go to school for tattooing and you can go to school for fashion because I was going to a local community college and they did not supply that. So after that, I think I was like taking a break and then I was just having lot of things going on, which I will not get into right now. I don't like talking about that time. And yeah, I left my parents' house. Didn't go to school for like 5 years. God damn, I've been out of my parents' house for a while. I think I left when I was like 20. Because I think I turned 21 in the pandemic, and no, I think I had just turned 21 actually. Like maybe like 21 in 6 months or something, 21 in 5 months, because I had left in like August of something. I can't remember. I feel like I like blocked out a lot of that time actually. Not that it was like that traumatic, but it was a little traumatic in the way that like everything just kind of culminated and just spilled and bubbled over in a horrendous way. I'm making it sound a lot worse than it is. It was just like more mentally taxing than anything. But it's not like anything horrible. Well, it's not the best, but it's not like the worst, you know? Like, it's in the middle. Indifferent. Indifferent to it now. Back then, I was very like fucking like thrashing. Like that Possession gif. Which I need to watch that movie. I know, don't yell at me. I can't believe I haven't watched it either. I can't believe it. But I've seen a lot of things about it, and I really desperately want to watch it. Every time I sit down to watch something, I'm like, nah, that's for another time. I do that too often. I like scroll, and I'm like, what movies can we possibly watch? Instead of watching one. That's how my Letterboxd watch list is so long. But I'm slowly getting to it. Every time I watch a movie, I try to look at my Letterboxd and just like check it off because there's so many, but like, whatever. Oh my god, my hand got stuck. Oh, by the way, guys, look at my nails. These are my natural nails, and this is hard gel. I did a French. I never do this shape or length. I mean, length, these are my natural nails after my Gel X. I've had these for a couple weeks, but they're still holding up pretty well, so I probably won't be getting them done soon, but they look very nice and neat, and I really like them. But anyways, moving on. Yeah, I always felt like, and I feel like there's like half of the people watching are going to cringe to me saying this, and then the other half are going to be like, I know what you mean. But I always felt like I was destined for something a little bit bigger since I was younger. Destined for something of my own making, you know? And that's honestly what pulls me through life, is this idea. I don't know if this sounds weird or delusional. This idea that something eventually, what is meant for me will eventually unfold. And as long as I authentically move in what direction I want to and where my intuition takes me, I'll get there, you know? And I'll take it all the way to the beginning before we move on. Because yes, this video is going to be long, and you know who my inspiration for that is? Vanilla Mace, because she vlogs and those shits are like an hour long, and I watch those very intently because I love her content. And I thought to myself, and this goes back to the beginning, where I was like, I am not gonna shorten myself for my content. Maybe some videos, but I wanted to do another sit down video because I love these. And these were the kind of first kind of videos that I made where I would just sit here and kind of just yap your ear off about things that make your little brain churn, and make you think a little bit, and get a little bit of what it is like in my brain constantly, because yes, my brain switches to different topics that fast. And I'm constantly thinking about 10 things at once. I was explaining this to Aiden, and he was like, that sounds tiring. And I was like, tell me about it. Literally tell me about it. I want to hear about it. Tell me what you think. Not that aggressively, but you get what I mean. But yeah, I was like watching Vanilla's videos, and like honestly I was watching them and I had like this thought, and I was like, oh my god, that's what I've been doing. I went from making long videos to being like, oh my god, okay, maybe I should make vlogs. Like, are those videos interesting enough? and I started making vlogs. And I'm not saying vlogs were not fun to make, because those vlogs are fun to make, and I'm still gonna make them. But I was, in my brain at the time, I was like, okay, my content is gonna be vlogging lifestyle instead of sitting down and talking, because maybe sitting down and talking is a little too boring. I mean, borderline, this is a podcast to myself, like with myself, with no one except for me. But yeah, I was just having that thought, and I was like, oh, like, every video I've kind of been shortening it and shortening it and shortening it and shortening it, and the way I'm editing is to, like, I'm like making sure that, like, I'm cutting out like little times that, like, is silent, you know, because I'm like, oh, that's too long and someone's gonna click off the I got a little too into it, guys. I'm be real here. I'm be real with you. I got a little too into it, and I was like, okay, like, I need to make sure that my videos aren't boring, because I don't know, I guess that was my insecurity that I was like projecting onto my content, where I was like, okay, is this boring to just like sit here and like there's nothing like fun on screen, it's just me talking? Is that entertaining enough? And then I realized, I was like, okay, like, is my goal to be entertaining enough? Like, no, I'm making, I mean, I'd love to be entertaining enough, duh, but I realized that I want to make content because, well, I already knew this, but, like, you know, it got lost somewhere in the sauce. And I realized, I was like, I want to make content that, obviously I like doing it all, but, like, that I like doing where I'm not worried about being myself authentically, which goes back to why I'm doing it on the computer, because it felt like I wasn't feeling authentic with the fact, like, it just felt like every time I pulled a camera to my face, it felt like I was just like, hello everyone, you know, like, felt like I need an intro and all of this stuff, and it's like, nah, I make content for people who want to, like, sit down with me and have, like, a little thought, you know, a little thought, and I just, like, want to share my life, and I want people who follow me to just, like, enjoy watching me because they enjoy watching me and enjoy me as a person, enjoy my thought and my take on things or my interests or whatever. Like, I just kind of wanted to make content being myself authentically, and it just felt that it was slipping away from me slowly each video. And I got this spark of inspiration, which is why I started DJing, actually. There was a moment in time, like, I haven't been as consistent as I've been wanting to be with my content, because there's so many things, okay? There's so many things, but I'm not going to get into it. I just have not been as consistent as I want to be. And I was thinking, like, it was so funny because I was like, oh, maybe I'm not being consistent because, like, I don't have good enough content ideas. And then I was like, girl, like, you can just sit down and record a video. You know, like, it's not about, like, oh my God, I need to plan this, this, and this, and this, and then I have to record it. Like, just go back to the first video. Just do it. Like, if you're making excuses, you don't want it enough. That's what I'll tell you. If you're making excuses for the reason why you can't do something, you don't want it enough. And anyways, that's another thought. That's like a not complete separate, but a shoot off of my thought bubble. But yeah, I started picking up DJing because I felt like I had lost this, like, spark. And I felt like I had found it with YouTube, where I was, like, doing YouTube, and I was like, oh my God, like, I'm so excited to do YouTube. And it wasn't that I wasn't excited to do YouTube, and that's why I was inconsistent. It was more of, like, I was trying so many different things that I was, like, every single time I was changing, you know, my thumbnail or content a little bit, I just kind of felt like I was straying a little bit more towards mainstream of what people want to see as a thumbnail or want to hear me talk about. And it just felt like less of being like, okay, like, I want to talk about this today, and more of like, okay, what do I think people want to hear? And it was like a little annoying. If I'm being real, it was a little annoying. I was annoying myself, and I was like, girl, like, I just wanted to, like, pull myself by my hair and be like, bitch, girl, Seriously? You're gonna do this when you started your YouTube channel the other way? Like, girl, what? But yeah, so then, like, I had this epiphany, and I was like, okay, so I want to do this. I know I want to do DJ content. I know I want to do this kind of content where it's like we're on FaceTime, we're talking. A little podcasty situation. The old videos where I would show you my, my collection on things. Although my collection hasn't really grown. It's stayed the same, and honestly, I've had a little bit of a book break, and I've just started picking it back up. I'm reading Good Night Pun, and I'm starting back with manga just so I can, like, bring my attention span back up, because my attention span is so bad right now because I have a TikTok addiction right now. And I literally cannot put it down. I find myself scrolling on it all the time, and, like, after I do, I'm like, ugh. I'm, like, icked out because I can't stop looking. It's like a dopamine hit. And I was talking about this with Aiden. Like, the scroll of finding something good on your For You page is like a freaking dopamine hit. And when you find it, you're like, okay, I need another one. And you just keep scrolling until you find something that you like. It's just so funny. It's like, I was attributing it to the endless scroll of Tumblr, except Tumblr, it was, like, mostly pictures and stuff, and in TikTok, it's, like, constant, like, hey, in, like, your face. So it's like your brain is seeing things, hearing things, noticing things, it's a lot of sensory stuff, and I've realized that it's, like, now I can't have just one screen going, and I'm just, like, it's almost embarrassing. I feel like an iPad baby. But yeah, I don't know where I was going with that, and I don't know where I was going before. Just lost it. Oh, that's what I was saying. I want to do DJ content. I want to do, like, FaceTime content, and I wanted to do, like, vlogs. And I was like, okay, those three things encompass me pretty well, And I was thinking, my vlog and talk content, like, can be uploaded, like, every other time, or, like, whenever I feel like it. It'll be talk or it'll be vlog on Sundays, which is usually the day I upload. And then my DJ mixes, which I'm still trying to figure out the whole audio situation, because I use these guys, which is not the best audio. Like, I was re-listening to my old DJ one that not old, but, like, 2 weeks ago I uploaded a DJ set that was, like, 30 minutes, and I was listening to it in the car, because, you listen to your sets as a DJ to make sure your transitions are good and, like, what you need to work on and whatever. And I was listening to it, and I was like, good Lord, this audio sounds awful on the speaker in the car. So I was like, okay, I need to figure out how to get a good, like, audio recorder or anything. If anyone knows anything about recording mixes on the computer or on anything and being able to upload it on YouTube, please let me know down in the comments. I have heard about something called an iRig, which people use for, like, recording DJ sets at, like, actual venues and stuff. But I don't really know if I need that or if I can use, like, a streaming system or whatever. I just don't know how to get the audio on my computer and not coming out of my speakers, and if it's, like, gonna come out of my speakers and go into the computer or whatever, because I kind of need to hear it. But anyways, thank you all for the support for the DJ stuff, because I'm always a little nervous uploading something new, and being like, are people gonna hate me? But I want to do it, so I uploaded it, and a lot of people have given me really good feedback, and that just, like, inspires me more. And I'm still doing DJing. I do it, like, I haven't done it in a couple days, but, like, I try to do it every day. I just got a little frustrated with the last set, because I think I recorded that set, like, 5 times. And I ended up going with the second one I recorded, and I was like, wow. But I tried recording it, and I kept on making mistakes at the end, and I was like, which one's the best one? So I chose the best one. And, you can't be a perfect, you can't choose the perfect one or be a perfect DJ every time. Like, that's just not the art of DJing. Like, you can't be perfect every time, and I feel like it changes. But I still do it, and I actually really enjoy it a lot more than I thought I did. I have, like, this whole idea for DJing where what I try to tell people, which people don't really ask me because I don't really tell people about it. The online people know more, like, you guys know more about it than I feel like people in my real life. I mean, people in my real life know I DJ. Like, I DJ'd for my mom's party recently, and it was just my family, which was really fun. I did it for an hour, and I was outside. It was very fun, but it was a family thing, so I could only play certain songs. But I did put in some tech house in there, you know. It's the most palatable techno I feel like I could put in there, tech house, and some pop songs. But I did that, and that was the first time I did it in front of people, which I was really nervous at first, but at the end I was like, wow, this is like really fun. And I really enjoyed the mixes, and some people in the comments have told me that I should go do open DJ night, which I don't think I'm good enough for that yet. But I do live close to, I've told you guys I live in East Coast. Well, fuck it, I'm gonna tell you what state I live in. I live in Virginia. Did you guys think I lived in that area? I don't know. In that area. I'm in the area. But I live in Virginia, so I am close to cities. I'm not going to tell you what city. Because I'm a little bit weird about telling people where I live on the internet, because it just feels like very vulnerable. So I don't, if you figure it out, please don't like tell everyone. I will literally cry and rip my hair out and never come on the internet again. That's a lie. That's not true. I would come on the internet again. I would just be very paranoid going outside. But I would love to know if you guys live in the area, if you guys live in Virginia, or if any of you live in Virginia. But yeah, that's where I live. I live on the East Coast, like middle area. And oh, yeah, that's what I was saying. I live close to a city, so I've thought about doing that. I just kind of want to hone in my craft a little bit, and what I'm describing my DJ journey as is I want people to feel, hear, see music how I hear, feel, and see music, and I want to tell a story. It's, for me, obviously, media isn't just media. It's not just art to me. It's not just a movie to me. It's not just music to me. They have things attached to them. They mean a lot more to me than that. They have so much more emotional impact. So I was like, okay, I can be aux girl and tell a story. And I love music like that. So that's what I thought. And I was like, okay, I'm going to take people through a journey with every DJ set I do. It takes a long time to come up with a DJ set and to figure out what songs go with what. And practicing and everything, and obviously things don't always go as you plan, and you always choose sometimes a different song depending on the people. I haven't done it live yet, but it takes a lot, and it's a lot more practicing and scouring the internet for music than actually DJing, and it's a lot about picking your songs. Also, I'm gonna be right back. I have to pee. Yeah, I will say this is why I love doing it like this, where I'm on my computer, because it just feels like I'm talking to myself. And this is what I usually do. That sounds so lonely. I swear, it's not lonely. I just have so many things going through my brain. And sometimes it's better to just do this than just, like, ramble at someone about just random stuff. But yeah, that's why I like doing this format, because it just feels genuine to me. It feels comfortable, you know? I just feel like I'm chilling. Can't remember what I was saying previously before I went pee, but I have a list of topics even though it's already like 50 minutes on the clock. Okay, I'm gonna choose one. I kind of talked about some of these. There's a line on here. Hold on, I need to separate this. That's so funny. There's a line on this topic list that I want to share, because I feel like I have kind of like hit all these points. And it says, I wrote this. It says, I love movies and music so much it physically hurts my soul. It literally physically, like, when I can't express how much I love it, and I feel like a lot of people, and maybe it's just me, but like I just have this like incapacitating like love for it, that like when someone doesn't understand a piece of media that I really like it's like it physically hurts me, and I'm like, what the fuck? What the hell? Speaking about physical media that I really love, not physical media but just media I really love, I've been rewatching Twin Peaks, and you know guys, I watched it during like the fall time, and I was really enjoying it. I totally talked to you guys about it, and I was gonna go ahead and rewatch it because I was just like, I'm feeling like something nostalgic, and it felt super nostalgic to rewatch. So I was rewatching it, and I asked Aiden, and I was like, do you want to watch the first episode? And I've been trying to convince him to watch it, and I got him hooked. Okay, we're on season 2, episode 2. We started watching like a couple days ago, maybe like 4 or 5 days ago or something. And he's really enjoying it, so I'm glad I can enjoy that with him. Oh my god, Sophie's going crazy. I wonder if you can hear it on the camera or on the mic. But yeah, I just there are certain media that just gets me, which is like, I recently watched, I was talking to Hunter about this because she initially put me on the show, but about 7 years ago, maybe 2013, I'll say 2013 summer, I was 14 years old, maybe turning 15. No, I must have been turning 14. Can't remember. Something like that. 14 or 15, because I was going into my sophomore year. I went to Japan for the first time, which you all know. And in the airport that I was in going to Japan. Actually, I was in New York. I was in the New York airport because I went with my cousins the first time, and I was with my cousins for the week previous because my family wasn't coming with me. It was just my cousins. And in the New York airport, there's a bookstore, and I always liked buying a book before the plane because I thought I was going to read it. And I bought Sharp Things, Sharp Things, Sharp Objects at that store. And I bought it because I was like, oh, this looks like an angsty book. And I read the back and everything, and I thought it was just going to be like a really angsty book about like being mentally ill or something, because at that time, like, I always liked books like that. I don't know why. I just always have liked books like that. That's kind of like my taste in books. But anyways, I picked it up, and I ended up not reading it at all. I have it in my collection. I still have it. I never opened it. And I remember the show coming out. I can't remember what year, but it was more recent. And I remember, the show coming out and reading the description of the show, and I was like, oh, it's a detective show? Oh, it's a detective show. That's not what I expected it to be. And my friend Hunter had been recommending it to me, and she's like, you need to watch it, because she had seen the book. And I was like, oh, okay. And she asked me if I read it, and I was like, no, I decided to watch it first. And when I watched it, girl, I was shocked. It's both. It's a detective book, and it's about mentally ill people. 2 for 1. And I loved it. And I was so shocked at the ending. Okay, spoiler, if you guys don't want to hear it, skip. But if you've watched the show, stay, because I want to talk about something real quick. It's going to take like 10 seconds. I totally thought it was her mom from the beginning. I was on and off about it. I thought it was her mom. And then at the end, I was like, shit, I was right. It was her mom. And then at the very end, I was like, oh, I was wrong. Don't tell mama. Don't tell mama. But anyways, yeah, that was very good. That show was very good. So if you guys didn't watch it, the people who watch me, if you like the content, the music, the movies, the whatever I like, go watch it. You'll really, really like that movie. Show. But I did want to look at my letterbox real quick. I wanted to talk about Eternity's Gate because that's on here too. That movie destroyed my soul. Willem Dafoe is so good at acting. That movie destroyed me, and I feel like that movie touched my soul in some crazy way that I feel like no one else will understand, because Van Gogh, even though that is like a renewed depiction of Van Gogh, I feel like Van Gogh would have understood me. You know, like the way he feels and the way his emotions were expressed. Although Van Gogh, I don't know if he was a great person or not, but just that movie and oh god, just go watch that movie. That shit like understands that movie. that movie understands me. What else movie have we watched recently? Oh my god, I watched Eden Lake yesterday. I've been being told that that's like one of the scary, like one of no, I won't say one of the scariest, because I feel like that's how everyone advertises horror movies, where they're like, this is the scariest movie of the year, this is the scariest movie I've ever seen, and it's like, is it actually scary or just not that scary? It's just like a renewed trope. Also, hot take, I watched 28 Years Later, and I hope you guys don't tear me apart for this take. I didn't like it that much. It was okay. I didn't hate it. I didn't like it that much. And I even did my homework before the movie came out, and I watched 28 Days Later, and I watched 28 Weeks Later. I think 28 Days Later was really good. I think I rated that a 4-star on Letterboxd. Let me look. 28 Weeks Later, a little less I enjoyed, but I still really enjoyed it. And then 28 Years Later, I don't know, like, I get where everyone's saying that it's deeper than a zombie movie, and it's not that I don't see it, because I see it. Of course I see it. That's how zombie movies tend to be. Zombie shows tend to be. It's more about the humanity of it. But, like, there were just certain things in the movie that, like, as someone who isn't actually that, like, I'm critical of movies, but, like, you know, I can suspend disbelief for things. That movie just, like, for the first time I watched the movie, and I was like, I feel like it's being so pretentious. And it was just, like, pretentious in the way that I was like, I didn't like it. And I'm sorry if that's a hot take and some people don't agree with me, but, like, I don't know. I just, hold on. Let me see what I rated this. Yeah, I rated 28 Days Later a 4-star. And I think I rated 28 Weeks Later like a 3-star. And I don't think I rated 28 Days. I think I rated 28 Days 3-star, 2.5-star, or something like that, because it's a middle. 2.5 out of 5. That's like right smack in the middle. You know, 3 is a little bit better than the middle. And yeah, it was just, I didn't like it as much. And I think that I understand that it's going to be like whatever, but there are some things in there that I just don't think really made sense. And believe me, I've tried to make it make sense. I've watched all the explanations. I've watched everything about it. And it was just like, it's not like, it's like, I don't know. It was just like, it just didn't intrigue me as much as I thought it would, which just kind of disappointed me, because I went in and I was like, this is going to be so good. And then at the end I was like, what the fuck? I will just say one thing. You had 2 chances to kill the alpha when you hit him with the morphine, and you didn't. That guy was trying to kill you. Why? Are we going to argue because they're infected and not zombies? I mean, the pregnant thing confused. I get it. Like, I get the story. I get it. The whole humanity thing, and that they're not actually zombies, and, you know, the whole depth of however many theories there are. It just didn't hit for me. Like, I got it. I understood it. Like, believe me, I analyze and see movies for what they are, but, like, and I wanted it to make sense to me so bad, and it just didn't. And I was like, I was a little disappointed, honestly. But my friends liked it. Aiden did not like it. And I was just like, neutral about it. I was just disappointed, to be honest. I expected a little more. But anyways, I watched Eden Lake, and I rated it a 3.5 because it did scare me. It was a typical, like, scared of teenagers trope, but it was like, okay, like, I am actually scared. These people are kind of, like, messed up. Kind of. They are. And I'm pretty sure Cook from I think it was Cook from Skins. I can't remember his name. He was in Sinners as well, I think. Is the main British teenager that's a dick. But I made a little comment. I said, his mouth must hurt. If you haven't watched Eden Lake, there's a spoiler up ahead. Guys, if you have, oh my God, the part with the razor in that man's mouth made me squeal. I had to stop the movie, and I think borderline, I was like, should I continue watching this movie or should I just stop? Because that was disgusting. I literally, the visceral pain I felt when it God, it was disgusting. It was like in his fucking mouth with a freaking razor. Disgusting. Like a box cutter razor. Disgusting. Oh my God, I can't even think about it. It's like there's certain things in horror movies that I cannot do. And it's not that I will stop the movie. It's just there's certain things that will immediately hike up the disgusting factor for me. That is cutting Achilles tendons. Razor in the mouth now that I know that is a thing. One of that. And yeah, those are the two main things. And eye poking. I don't like shit going in eyes. Although that's a little bit less than the Achilles tendon. The Achilles tendon, no. And I remember that specifically. The first time I seen that was watching House of Wax when I was really young. And that is actually like one of the top horror movies for me, because it's just like, it has Paris Hilton in it, and it has Jared Padalecki in it, and just a good cast, and it's just fucking gross. But that's like old, I think like early 2000s, maybe 2010s. I can't remember when House of Wax came out. But yeah, there's a scene in there where someone's Achilles tendon gets cut with like pliers, and it's just disgusting. It was disgusting. And then I think it was Paris who sticks her finger out from the grate because she's stuck underneath the fucking abandoned ghost town, and the guy comes and just cuts her finger off. Yeah, that's another one for me. Immediate uptick for that. Not in a good way, as in immediate like disgusting factor has gone up. Yeah, also anything with skin coming off. House of Wax really scarred me as a kid, to be honest. Yeah. But I love that movie. It's a comfort movie now. I remember one of the first times Aiden came over to my parents' house when we first met. We were, like, my sister and I were watching House of Wax, and Aiden's not a super big fan of horror movies. He doesn't, like, really find horror movies scary, but he just doesn't really like gore, which is valid. I don't like gore that much either. The only, like, gore I enjoy, which is weird, is Saw. I love the Saw movies, and it's not because of the gore. It's mostly because of the storyline. And I only really like 1 through 3, borderline 1 through 4. I like all of them, but the best ones are 1 through 3, obviously, when Jigsaw Kramer was still alive. And then past that, it's just like, okay, the storyline's getting convoluted now, but it's still really good. Like, when I want to sit down and watch the whole Saw series, I will sit down and watch all the whole Saw series, because it's just all good, and it's nostalgic to me, which is so funny, because the first time I had seen them all the way through, like 1 through whatever it was at the time, was I was sitting with my sister and my brother, and we had an all-nighter where we were watching Saw. And we watched all of them, and at the time I was so young that I could barely like look at the screen, and there were only like certain parts that I could watch. And I think for about a week or 2 straight after that, I had nightmares about the series in my brain. Like, I was just like replaying movies in my head, and every time I would wake up and go back to sleep, it would start all over again. So I like barely got sleep for like 2 weeks, and now I love the movies. It's trauma. It wasn't trauma. It was, I wanted to watch them. It was just like I couldn't handle it as a kid. What else? I feel like I've watched more things. Oh, I recently like fully rewatched Suspiria, the newer one. So good. I forgot how good it was. I hadn't watched that in a really long time. So good. That is my kind of horror. Like, I don't even know what you call that. Just like convoluted horror that like it's weirdly just like slightly out of reality, but like real enough where it feels like it could be real. You know what I mean? So I don't know. Oh, goodness. I watched Blink twice a while back, and I actually really liked it. I know a lot of people were making fun of it about being like, Hello, Darling, Get Out, Midsummer movie, but I actually liked it, and I watched from the beginning, and I was like, oh, this is going to be bad, and at the end, I was like, oh my god, I actually really liked that movie, so I actually really enjoyed it. Oh my god. I just had a thought. Because I just saw it on here. If you guys love horror and you haven't watched The Black Coat's Daughter, It's a really good slow burn, actually kind of fucking scary. It kind of reminds me of The Witch with like the VV, with, oh god, I can't remember her name. Yeah, I can't remember her name. Shit. Anyways, The Blackcoat's Daughter. There was like in the winter time, I don't know if it was this year or last year, I had found it on something and I was like, oh, like I hadn't heard about it at all. And I was like, you know what? I'm just going to go ahead and watch this movie. Like I was like on a spree of watching just random horror movies at the time, cuz that happens in the winter time for me. I will just like watch. Sometimes I'll just like, if I have nothing to do all day, I will sit and watch like horror movies all day, which is probably not the best cuz at nighttime I'm like scared around the corner. But I had put it on and watched it, and at the end I was like, I actually really like this movie, and it was really nice slow burn, and you know, it like doesn't reveal entirely what's going on until the end, and you're like, oh shit, oh shit. Very good movie. Very, yeah, if you like Blair Witch Project, or if you like slow burn spooky shit like that, I think you'll like Blackcoat's Daughter. It's just very eerie. It's basically like a summary. It's like two girls are at this boarding school and it's like Christmas time, and both their parents weren't able to come pick them up, so they're stuck at the boarding school, which they're not really allowed to be, but there's people caring for them or like they're staying there waiting for a later time for their parents to come pick them up, and shit goes down. That's all I'm gonna say. Because yeah, but yeah, that kind of reminds me of going back to the Twin Peaks thing. I was watching Twin Peaks and Aiden brought something up and I was like, oh my god, that's why I love this so much. Twin Peaks is so convoluted and there's so many things going on in the episode that like your brain can't like catch a break almost. Like the first time I watched it, I was like, what the fuck is happening? Like I almost sometimes had to like rewatch scenes to be like, okay, I understood what's going on, because I know how important like certain scenes are. Not the first time around, but now I do, you know. But I was watching it and Aiden said something which like I was like, oh my god, you're so right. And he was like, oh my god, we're in season 2 at this point where, you know, the supernatural-ish stuff starts coming in, and he goes, I can see how this is like dark. And he said that and I was like, I can't remember if I said that to him before and that's why he said it, but I was thinking and I was like, oh my god, you're right, it is like dark. And if you haven't watched the show Dark, I think it's 3 seasons and it's German. And if you watch it, I recommend you watch it in German, because I've tried watching it with my parents in English and it just, if something's made in a different language, just watch it in the different language and read the subtitles, because I think you just kind of lose the emotion and the feeling of everything when you just like take yourself out of it and make them speak English. It just totally ruins the atmosphere of the whole movie, and that's like my opinion, and some people can do it the other way, and I'm not saying it's bad to sometimes watch stuff in English if it's made in another language, because yeah, when I'm watching anime and I'm doing stuff and I don't want to read subtitles and I want to watch anime, I'm gonna put it in English. But as soon as I sit down and start paying attention, I'm gonna switch it back to Japanese, because I hate English dub, for real. If I have to watch it, I will. You know, if I'm sitting down and watching with my family and they're like, I don't want to listen to the Japanese version, I just want to listen to the English version because it's easier for me to understand rather than reading it, okay, I'll sit and watch it with you, but it's not the same. Like, it doesn't give the same vibe. And sometimes there are shows that like do it right, but sometimes they just nope. So yeah, not all the time, but most of the time I recommend just watching things in the recommend the already original language. But yeah, if you're interested in Twin Peaks and stuff like that, of things being convoluted and crazy and you're constantly like, oh, I know what's going on, and then you're like, oh, I actually don't know what's going on, where the hell am I, what am I watching, what the fuck's happening, watch Dark. I think it's on Netflix. It might be on other stuff too. And I feel like no one fucking talks about that show. And it's so funny because I came across it, or Aiden and I came across it like years ago, just like looking for something to watch. And it actually caught us by surprise about how good it was. It was so good. And I like never hear anyone talk about it. And I'm like, is it because it's in German and like no one watched it because it's in German? Like, I don't know, but it's so good. Why is no one talking about this? So yeah, Dark is like the epitome of stuff I like too. I just love stuff that's like investigative, but like dark, macabre, like, but like good and then like also bends my mind, you know, and I love horror aspects in it too. Like, I don't know, I just do. But I think since this has hit the basically hour and almost 15-minute mark, I think I got everything I wanted to say out. I mean, I have a list on my phone, but I ended up just like not going off that list, and I actually also ended up talking about most of what was on the list without looking at my list. But yeah, in conclusion, I do want to start doing these videos a little more. Let me know down below if you made it this far. Bless your soul. If you made it this far, let's see, what emoji should I make you guys put in the comments, because I feel like I'm curious. If you have made it this far, put a swan emoji in the comments. Curious to see how many of you get this far. And if you have, thank you for listening to me for this long. And I feel like I don't say this enough in my videos, but truthfully, for the 4,000 of you who have subscribed to me, I feel like, yeah, for the 4,000 of you that have subscribed to me, thank you all for watching my videos. I would not be here making more videos if you guys didn't like my videos. I probably would have been a little more discouraged and a little bit less wary, but I feel like you guys have given me a space to feel like I can be my authentic self. And feel like I can just kind of express myself on my platform, and I really appreciate that, guys. And I'm very grateful for you guys watching my videos and being able to connect with you guys under my comments. And like, if you guys follow my Instagram or whatever, when I started making videos, I got a couple DMs from some people on Instagram, which I love talking to you guys if you guys want to DM me, but just don't be creepy. Just don't be creepy. Because if you DM me and try to be creepy, you will get blocked. Especially if you're a man. Sorry. Unfortunately, that's just how it works in this day and age. Please don't be creepy in my DMs. Thank you. I'm going to say thank you before because I'm expecting you guys to listen to me. But if you just want to like chat in my Instagram DMs, feel free to message me, because I've had a couple girls reach out and say they like my content and how they feel seen. Wow, that inhale was weird. I was like, it was like my breath like just escaped me. But yeah, and at first I was a little scared. But I like interacting with you guys, and it's kind of like I have my own little group of best friends that like I can kind of just like put videos on, and you guys are like watching, and we can like interact and talk. And yeah, I've wanted to make a Discord, but I haven't, and I just don't know if that's something you guys are interested in. So also let me know down below if you're interested in the Discord situation. I also want to start streaming again. I was thinking about that the other day. I streamed like a decent amount of Red Dead, and I was devastated with what happened to Arthur Morgan. He's not gone yet, but devastated with the news. So I had to take a little break because I didn't want to end it so quick, because I felt like I was playing so much of it. So I ended up playing Baldur's Gate for a little bit, and then I stopped playing video games for a while because I went through like a phase of playing video games, and then I had stuff going on. And yeah, but I do want to start streaming again because I miss playing Minecraft, and honestly I miss playing Red Dead, and just having that like quick in real time conversation with you guys, because that's always so fun. But yeah, anyways, sorry, I just ended up yapping on some more for another like 5 minutes, but thank you guys so much for watching my videos. I love you guys so much, and I'm so grateful for all of you that watch, like, and interact with me. Truthfully, you guys keep me going on making my content and living my most authentic life, and being able to just like kind of spill my thoughts in my brain out on the internet for you guys to kind of like also do it as well, and we can have little conversations. It's like a little book club with stuff that not really a book club, but you know, with thoughts. And speaking of book clubs, I was supposed to do that with streaming, but we'll talk about that another time. I don't want to go off another 10 minutes talking about it, but if you saw my post and that one stream talking about trying to do like a live book club thing, I'm thinking about doing that soon. If you're interested in that as well, I know I'm giving you guys a lot of tasks, so there better be comments down there responding, or else I'm going to be embarrassed. But let me know what genres you like, because I have my own genres and I really, really, really like horror and transgressive literature. So if you're not into that, maybe it's not the best. Because it's really hard for me to read books that, like, I don't want to read. I'm sorry. If someone tells me to read a book that's, like, not in my area, I'll be like, oh, okay. And then I'm just like, I'm not reading that. I only like reading books on my own time. Like, when someone tells me to read a book, you're done. Even if it's the best book in the world, I will only read it once I'm interested in reading it. That's just who I am as a person. I don't know. Something wrong with me? Probably not, but I just feel like that's how it is. Yeah, right now I'm reading Goodnight Pun Pun, but I think the next book, like chapter book, like actual book, not manga, not that manga isn't a book, but like, you know, actual like written book with no pictures. I think the next one I'm gonna read is Crash, because I really want to watch the movie, the David Cronenberg movie. And it's kind of a short book, but it's just like intriguing me, and it's been on my mind, and I'm like, I need to read that book. I need to read that book. I need to read that book. So, Crash is literally on my next list, and I still need to read the third book in the Spiral trilogy, but yeah. I just need to get on it, because I literally went on a spree and bought, like, I think, like, no lie, 30 books. And I just need to finish them. I'm, like, staring at half of the stack over there. And I'm like, okay, I need to start getting on reading them, because, like, I can't buy any more books before I start, like, at least reading them. And I have the urge to go buy books all the time. And I can't. I literally physically will not let myself step into the bookstore until I start reading my books, because as soon as I step in there, I'm buying a freaking book. Actually, it's not true. Recently, I went to the bookstore and bought some Legos, which was really fun because I couldn't buy books because I wouldn't let myself. So I was like, okay, I'm going to go to the bookstore and buy Legos instead. And then I didn't want to keep buying Legos because I didn't have space for them, so I started buying more puzzles. I don't know if I told you guys, but I love puzzles, and I've been literally churning out 1,000-piece puzzles for the last couple of weeks when I'm fidgety. Like, it's a really nice thing to do when you're watching a show and don't want to scroll on your phone. I do puzzling, because then it stops me from scrolling on my phone and being on, like, locked in to brain rot TikTok. But yeah, if you guys are interested in tagging along on my social media, go follow me on TikTok. You can follow me on either one of them. I have two, Sacrificial Lamb X and Morning Bunny, and which I actually changed it from Soft Kill to Morning Bunny because I just wanted things to be a little more cohesive. If you want to follow my Instagram, go ahead and follow my Instagram. I'm trying to be more active on there. Recently, I've just, like, I told you guys, and here I am again, continuously going on when I said I was going to get off here, because this is my problem. I can't end conversations. But I just need to get it all out. I'm sorry. You got a little bit, you got me. You're pulling my leg. But I need to drink my coffee. I'm literally going to go watch a show and puzzle after this. But I'm trying to be a little more active on Instagram and just social media in general. For the last couple of weeks, I've talked to you guys about this. I've just really been struggling with my skin. And I think the last video before I was doing, like, my DJ content, like my last two DJ videos, I went and got a facial because I was just having, like, a lot of texture problems on my face. And it actually helped a lot. My skin was kind of shitty after it for, like, a week because I had, like, broken out after it because she told me I would. And I was like, okay. Tweaking a little bit, trying not to crash out over here because my skin, like, got worse. And then after a while, the texture got a little better. I obviously have texture. And then my boyfriend went to go get his facial, and she was like, oh, I have something for you. And I was like, oh, what? And she was like, you need to go and get the Differin Adapalene gel from CVS. And she was like, that's, like, basically the version of what she was telling me to go get from the dermatologist, but it's, like, over the counter. And I was like, oh my God, that's what Epiduo is. And she was like, yes, it's, like, the same thing. And I was like, okay, because Epiduo, like, saved my skin when I was younger. I had, like, a lot of, like, these closed comedones, and yeah, I just was having problems. I totally haven't used it in a couple days, but I need to use it. Sometimes if I use it too much, it, like, my skin flakes. And she was like, if that happens, just step off of it for a little bit and then start using it again, and to constantly make sure I'm wearing sunscreen, because they don't, like, doesn't mesh well with the sun, which, yeah, I already knew that. or I have burnt my face. I have burnt my face chemically many times by doing that back in the day. And I will not make that mistake again because it physically hurts to talk and move my face when you chemically burn your face, okay? It does not feel good. And I bet you guys know how that feels like, and I bet you guys have been through that. At least some of you have, and you feel my pain. But yeah, I've been using that. My skin has been doing better. Obviously, I still have texture, and you guys can't really see it because this blurs it. And bless its soul, but I do have a little bit, like you can see these two. This one is gone, but it's going away. But I was having issues with like my skin around my mouth, which was just, it was not fun. And I feel like it's finally getting better. So yeah, I have learned my lesson, and I will not be changing my skincare again. And I will stick to what works. If it's not broke, don't fix it. That is the lesson today. If it's not broke, don't fix it. That goes for my YouTube channel. If it's not broke, don't fix it. That's the end. Welcome. Thank you for listening to my TED Talk. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys so much. And let me know what you think about anything I said. And yeah, I hope you guys like this long form kind of video. It's literally basically like a podcast. Basically like my TED Talk. But yeah, I love you guys. This was really fun. And I will be doing more of these. So stay tuned. Love you guys. See you guys next Sunday. And start digging in your butt, twin.